What is your unsubstantiated theory that you believe to be true but have no evidence to back up? An unsubstantiated theory, something that you think is true but you have no evidence to back up.
Are you talking like ghosts and stuff?
Could be.
My personal one is a 9/11 thing.
Oh, okay, like conspiracy theories.
Does it have to be like a big theory?
No, it doesn't. It can be like this one. I think is actually true. I think there's some evidence, but planned obsolescence, like light bulbs, could last. The old school filament ones could last for decades, and they just built them to be cheaper and just to wear out.
I've never looked up the evidence for it, but everybody's always talking shit on hot dogs. Now it's like, oh, that's just ground up, rectums and eyeballs. I don't think that's true. I think that
It depends what you
quality
get.
meat. It's just a regular hot. As long as you're not buying like Joe Schmo's discount dogs, like you're gonna be fine. I think it's like just get the kosher own or some like it's fine meat. I think people just talk shit about it because they want to feel better than other people.
Yeah, I get the Nathan's like all beef because I really don't want pork, beef, and chicken. Like that doesn't seem like a mixture that
And I
want.
suspect
I just
if you're
don't.
mixing those three, then you're not getting the best parts of any of them.
Yeah,
what,
and you might be getting
what's
some other
terrible
parts.
Is I tried turkey bacon recently, and someone had told me like, oh, it's leaner and it's just as good as the real thing. Horseshit. Like afterward, I looked it up, or I just looked at the back of the package, and it's just compressed turkey to look like the shape of bacon, which I don't know what else I would have thought it was. There's no turkey stomach that you're cutting slivers of bacon off of, but it was terrible. Every bite was depressing. It doesn't cook right. It gets burned before it gets done.
Every bite was
just awful.
depressing.
Every bite was like, what have I done? Why did I do this? It's not that much healthier to make a difference. It's still bacon. There's still grease and stuff in there, but
The flight in Pennsylvania on 9/11, the one that where like supposedly they just suddenly dive bombed to the ground, whereas every other one went after like a legit civilian target or even military, I guess if you call the Pentagon.
Well, they say that the passengers took it down. That's the story.
no, that's the other one, isn't it? Or no, that was Flight 91.
That is
right.
the Pennsylvania
That's the
one.
one.
I believe it was shot down. I believe I can't do the math myself, but I think that from the time they like rallied the jets in DC in the distance that is, they were only like 20 minutes away or something, and an hour later, like it got shot down. There were what are they, flight control operators? I forget the name of that position, but the people who like make sure that all the flights land and don't smash into each other and
Air traffic control.
air traffic control. They were saying that they saw them close together, like within shooting range. Cheney said that he would have or did give the order for it to get shot down, but that they happened to crash on its own before we had to do that. And I just believe it got shot down. That's what. Oh,
Yeah,
and
maybe
then
so.
the typically I'm told with an airplane crash, like you crash the plane on the ground and all the stuff is kind of in like one spot. But this stuff was spread out amongst miles, pamphlets.
As if
and
it
engine
exploded
parts.
in midair.
As if it exploded in the air and spread out, as opposed to hitting the ground and having a singular. Like I remember there was they crashed in Florida and they changed the name from something to Spirit Airlines, AirTran. I think it was called AirTran back in the day, and the plane crashed in the swamp, and all the plane was like right there at the crash site, because that's like what a plane would do. The plane crash sites don't typically spread out for miles, and I think that flight in Pennsylvania was shot down. And I don't like it. Everyone knows I'm not a huge Bush fan. I'm not sure it was the wrong call. By sacrificing those 100, they may have saved 2,000. But I do think it was shot down, and we were lied to.
I've got
so.
a theory that nobody actually likes cauliflower. I think it's just a scam. People pretend to try and seem more healthy. Like you can like broccoli, you can like carrots, you can like asparagus, but cauliflower, nobody ever asks for it. It's never offered at restaurants because people will be disappointed, but people will pretend to like it so that they seem healthier. No one actually likes it. It's a big scheme by the cauliflower conglomerates and lobbyists.
Mike, you got one?
I always believe like 9/11 was an inside job, but that's probably gonna offer a lot of debate. Is in like just conspiracy theories or
I mean,
Any theory
we've
with an
gone-
unsubstantiated claim.
Yes.
I mean, I like aliens, and there's no actual proof of aliens existing, but I think it would be really shitty if they didn't. We're on this universe alone. I find all that stuff pretty interesting, but obviously we don't have any proof. I think like we have found aliens, but even if we had, the government would keep it secret anyway, just because it would create like a panic kind of thing. So
I've got a thing, and so I didn't have any sisters, but I suspect that brothers are sexually attracted to sisters far more often than society admits.
I feel like that's an easy thing to say if you don't have a sister.
Yeah, right.
I don't, and so you can
What
just
is like? I've
say,
never had vanilla, but I bet if you, no, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
How can you
No.
live with
don't
a
have-
hot sister and not be like that?
because it's like genetic. Like it's
Yeah.
genetic. Like it's your
There's a
genes are telling
repulsion
you
built
need,
in.
Exactly. There's a repulsion. You need to diversify the genetic pool. So it's just an intrinsic like. Well, once again, I don't know. Never been in the situation, but that's what I'm led to believe, and I think Kyle's on the same page with me there.
Somebody leave a comment and let me, like, I'm curious. This is the comment this video will be filled with, but like your sister's there all the time, right? She's like, I don't know. I want to say like you spot her in underwear and stuff, but that actually never happens to my daughter. So like maybe
my
that's not a
sister's
thing.
an okay-looking girl, but it doesn't mean I want to put my dick in her. Like,
A little.
no, not one bit.
It's like,
Surprisingly.
well, maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
I
21
had
now,
to.
right? But let's say you're 16
Yeah.
or 17, and your hormones are raging, yet you're not getting it like you wish you would or at all.
I mean, I walked in on my sister naked. I wasn't like, wow, that's amazing. I was like, fuck, tits. Like, this is just my sister.
Yeah,
not,
I think that's the most common thing. But that's a good one, Woody. That's a good. I'm trying to think of more of these. Like I've met people who I really do think have ADD or ADHD, but like for the most part, I really don't think it's real. Like I don't think it's that real. You understand what I'm saying? Or am I?
I think it's overdiagnosed.
Yeah, it's just maybe that's it. It's just so overdiagnosed that anyone who wants it can get it and be diagnosed with it. But it's just it's not even like a little overdiagnosed. It's like I think it's like 500 times overdiagnosed. Like it should be a relatively rare thing. I don't even of
I got one.
95% of them. I don't think they have it.
I think that lots and lots of the diseases and ailments that human beings suffer from have already been cured, but the pharmaceutical companies would rather treat someone over time than cure them to make more money. I think that lots of like diabetes, like I don't know, asthma, name one that we treat instead of cure. I think all of those things are curable and have been cured. And somebody was just like, "Are you fucking crazy?" Like,
right?
No,
I think that's
no,
about cancer
Johnson.
as well.
You're supposed to make this an indefinite treatment. This is supposed to go into their 80s and they're on our program. You want to cure them on day one with this 30-cent pill? That's not going to work. Like
I have
feel
a
like that happens
similar
all
one,
the time.
which is I think that they'll look for treatments instead of cures because treatments are more profitable.
See, I think Woody's onto something with that, but I think Kyle, like yours, like if like every company couldn't be doing that. Like all it would take is one company to come out with a permanent diabetes cure, and they would just charge a ton for it and make a ton of money and corner everybody else out of that market. Because people are going to continue to get diabetes. It's not like you can just cure it outright. People are going to keep drinking Coke and eating McDonald's. Like more and more people are going to keep getting it.
I feel like a lot of medical discoveries are kind of spontaneous, though. Like in the same way that, like the guy who came up with LSD, like he had invented it like months before. It wasn't until he accidentally ate some that he knew it was hallucinogenic. Like there's lots of things that are like I like the DuPont Corporation. I saw a whole thing about them on the History Channel, and lots of the weird products that like 3M and DuPont came up with were like these weird like, oh, the bowl got too hot, shit. But look in the bottom of the bowl, and they've created something they didn't even mean to create. I feel like that could have happened. That maybe there's some they're doing trial studies, research, testing drugs on people, and all of a sudden, oh shit, that's what cures it. No, like we're not looking for cures. I feel like that could happen.
Yeah,
Of course.
That's pretty good.
But there's no proof, of course, and that fits this question nicely, I think.
Yeah, that was a good one. Better than cauliflower.
Yeah.
I got another one. I think that, and I think this one's even provable, but you know when like you buy a printer or whatever, and they're like, it's $100, but there's a $15 refund. You just fill in your paperwork. I think they intentionally make that difficult. I think that I imagine the companies who pitch it, who are like, you know what? I'm your refund handling company. You should pick me because less than 12% of the people that file for this actually get their money back. We are so shitty at handling this stuff. We ask for real receipts. If you make a copy, fuck them. If they don't have the receipt and the box top, fuck them. If they don't have the receipt, the box top, and like a couple styrofoam peanuts to prove it, fuck them. Like fewer people actually get their money back from our refunds than any of our competitors hire me. I feel like incompetence is part of the pitch there. And that's why when I buy stuff and they're like, hey, this is a $75 rebate. If it's not an instant rebate, I don't add it to my buying decision.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Just like it's the same thing as like when you see Kaboom or OxyClean or something on TV, and they're like, "Oh, it's only $19.99. Send it back if you're not 100% satisfied." It's like, who is actually like people are just going to treat that like a sunk cost. They're not going to go to the store, the post office, pay for a box, pay for all this shit, take time out of their day to send something that's then just like, well, I guess it works all right.
You know who else
like,
does that?
It's not a miracle.
Puppies. Like, so we bought a puppy not long ago. They all offer like money back guarantees. Like, if you keep this dog 1 year and you're not happy, money back guarantee. You know, we'll trade you your money for your dog. And no one is like, oh, but cookies or donuts over here. Like,
No.
These donuts is too small, but you know, like it becomes a member of your family. No one gives the dog back.
That does put you in a pretty powerful position in that dog owner relationship, though. If you think about it, if that, if you know that if you send that dog back at certain death, you're just like, sorry, Rover, you pissed the rug again. One time too many. Going back to the gas farm. Like I like that. I like having that kind of like life and death control over my pet at any time.
They offer money back guarantees, like, but no one gives their dog back. Even
They're
if
like
the dog
questioning it when you try and take it back. This looks nothing like the dog we gave you a year ago.
I'd run a scam where I kept returning the dog and exchanging it for a new dog, and I'd always have like a fresh dog.
I don't even want that. I like dogs. Screw puppies. Dogs are way better.
See, it's the opposite for cats. I would do that for a cat service. You get a kitten, and then as soon as it becomes a cat, you just return it and get another kitten.
Oh no, that's nice. I like that. I think I was supposed to, in an alternate universe, I'm a cat person, I feel like, because my grandmother bought me a kitten when I was 4 years old. They went and got this really pretty kitten somewhere. Apparently it was like an actual breed. Like I know that there are breeds of cat, but like usually it's just like white cat or black cat around here, but they got me a cat. And it was on the front step and they were on the way to like bring it to me, and my papa stepped on it like squarely on the steps and just squished it. They were like, it squished so flat, Kyle, that we had to scrape it up. And I was like, well, why didn't you get me another kitten? And they were like, well, we just didn't. We were all so upset over that first kitten that like we didn't even want to talk about it anymore. So you just never got the kitten. And I was just like, shit, my life could have been entirely different. I could have been a cat person.
It's good that you weren't. You know,
I guess so. I'm glad he stomped that fucking cat.
Yeah.
I'm glad he crushed that kitten. Good.
You know how like people don't talk about porn, yet tons of people like consume porn, but it's not like an everyday topic. Like it's
I
not
talk about
now
porn
so much, but if you were to go back like 20 years, 15 years, no one admitted to watching it, yet it was a gigantic business that like created the internet. Is there something like that is the opposite? Like chewing gum or like
the opposite how? I'm not following 100%.
I read this thing it said the amount of advertising I witnessed for chewing gum seems totally unsupportable by the amount that the American public can possibly be spending on chewing gum.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I think about all the Wrigley commercials and all the like there's a lot of double mint. There's a lot of
and all the breath mints.
Yeah, Mentos and stuff. Like how much chewing gum and breath mints are people consuming out there? Does it really support the amount of advertising we see for that?
You wouldn't.
That is a good point. With gum, it makes more sense. Mints, I can see, because when I get mints,
yeah,
like when I have them, it's always like, just throw 4 in. I got a whole can, and then like 2 days later, it's like, well, they're gone. You know, it's not like razors where you have to run to the store again if you don't have Dollar Shave Club and immediately buy them. Like yeah, that is interesting. Have you thought of other businesses like that, Woody, or were you just?
I was trying to brainstorm about it. Like, you know, I don't see enough commercials to know which commercials I just don't support it.
Yeah, well, what's a lot of advertising out there that just? I haven't had cable in so long. I don't even know what's on commercials.